when I decided to officially, I'm going for it all, stand-up comedy or bust, TV or bust, and I'm going to be an entertainer, blah, blah, or bust. It was 1989, and I was living in Florida, and I saw Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was on Arsenio Hall show, and Arsenio Hall said, Eddie, is there anything you can say to young comedians out there or anyone being said? And Eddie Murphy looked at the camera and said, don't listen to your mother. He goes, your mother always wants you to fall back on something and do this and do that and do that. And I said, don't listen to your mother, because you won't do something, you won't do 100%. And I swore to God, he was talking to me. I'm listening like that. I'm like, he's right. Why am I trying to appease my mother? And so I looked at places I could do stand-up comedy. My hair is dry. I mean, that's the ego in me. That's the vanity in me. And I saw this place called Ron Bennington's Comedy Scene at the Ramada Inn in Clearwater, Florida, on Gulf to Bay Boulevard. And I go there and I meet a couple comics and this guy, Lou Angelwolf. And Lou Angelwolf, big guy, clearly he's the alpha male, meaning I could tell he's the one that's kind of the he's the ruler here, if that makes sense. Not with an iron fist, just clearly the pecking. You're like, oh, okay, this guy, you should listen to this guy. He's a big guy, and he seems like he's the one talking to everyone. And he came up to me, and I think he was like, yeah, you first. I remember meeting him. So that place became a major pivot in me doing stand-up comedy and my entire life journey. There were two guys that were brothers there that were so good to the comedians, so good from what I saw to their staff. And I still remember Jimmy the bartender and some of the wait staff. And it was a really, I'm blessed that I had that in my life. There was no, people cutthroat and animals and out to get each other and just trying to rip you off. And if it was, we didn't know. I mean, it seemed like people in general really helped each other out. One guy would go out on the road and he'd come back like, what was the road like? He was like, dude, it's pretty cool. They put you in a condo. And you would hear these stories, like Tom Rhodes, this comedian Tom Rhodes. Brian Regan would come through because he was ahead of the game. He's already Dan Whitney, who was Larry the Cable Guy, the freight train of comedy. These guys were like headliners. And you had Billy Gardell. He would come by and like, dude, I'm starting to get these road gigs. It's really pretty awesome, Breuer. I'm like, what, you wanted to hear about the road, fantasize. Like, what is it like? Is there girls? Is it like, do you get standing ovation? Like, what is it like? Limos. And I know Lou, along with other comics, would come back like, you know what, you would do good on the road. And they started taking certain comics out on the road. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And they'd say, listen, your time is coming. You're not ready yet. Just give it some time and you'll be ready. I'm like, no, I'm ready. And Lou helped me a lot in that world. We played terrible places. But one of the most fascinating things about Lou was this moment in time we had together that changed the course of course, both our lives. I mean, that's what things do. Now, back then, I've always believed in a higher spirit, a God. Not a church guy, just being dead honest. But I would, I'd listen, and if someone was passionate and they had something pretty amazing to say that would help my world in a positive thought and whatever, I was always open and listen. And so I had I feel like I had a good faith. I may not have practiced it at that young age, and I remember an incredible moment in time. And I don't want to tell too much. I feel like I should bring Lou on, Lou Angel Wolf, who I saw a couple, like 2 weeks ago. What's up, Lou?
How you doing, Jim?
Lou, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of look like a Sioux warrior, and no offense to any Americans.
It's kind of a look I'm going for, you know.
I like it. How are you?
I'm great, buddy. I'm great. And the other week at Side Splitters in Tampa, buddy, I couldn't have been more proud of you, man. You just nailed it. And so many years have gone by, and I'm like, just to see the polish and the energy and the direction that you have it's awe-inspiring. It really is.
Hey, Lou, maybe they didn't tell you why you were away. I mean, I don't shine shoes no more. I don't
You didn't. I got to tell you, you didn't shine shoes long. You know. And what's funny, and for the audience, I was actually the comic that brought Jim on stage his very first time.
Yep.
And he did great. And I tell you what, an impression you had. I even remember a bit that you did in your very, very first set, where you talked about the difference between pigeons in Florida and pigeons in New York. Do you remember?
Of course I do. Matter of fact, I come from Long Island, and where I grew up, the birds there are just kind of like, whoa, sorry, I didn't see you coming. And whoa, and we're just gonna move over here. Hey man, do you have any bread? And then I think I finally caught on and did Florida birds. And I went, and then you go to New York City, and they're like, hey man, and I did. It was all about the head bop. I had the mullet. I feel like I had a mullet.
It's not even the people, dude. Even the pigeons have an attitude in New York. You check out the way they walk around, right? What are you looking at, shithead? You got some bread? It's not like down here in Florida.
And I had a mullet. And I go, hey man, is that your car parked over there? Yeah, you got any bread? No? All right, well, I'm gonna leave some spots. It's something where someone like gonna crap all over.
New York at them pigeons, they're like, why don't you walk around me there, fat boy? What are you, from Florida? I look like an egret to you? I was pissed off. I was like, make me walk around you? Yeah, why don't you try this pebble upside your head? You think it would bother a pigeon? Nah, didn't faze him a bit, man. He's sitting there going, oh, that hurt. Oh, that really hurt. Tony, call 911. I'm dying over here. No, I ain't gonna shit on his head. I got a better idea. What do you think, you're bad throwing them pebbles? Say something, pal. This your Buick? Park over here.
And I thought it was genius. I thought I was like, I'm gonna be discovered so quick. I mean, way too clever for everyone else in here. I was so cocky and confident. I called it confident. You saw cocky, which I always laughed at. You're like, you were cocky.
Take a look around and what do you see? Lock the date down tonight, we'll make it history.
Yeah, Breuer!
This is going to be a Broadway play in 3 years.
6 foot safe.
You look great, Grandpa. Take out your cameras for selfies because Jim wanted his head sticking out the edge of the cannon. Oh my God, I love these. Sexist, racist, rights, gay rights, people rights, human rights.
For what you are about to receive.
And may you all have love and laughter in this crazy lifetime we're living.